Hey, welcome back to West Farm and Bees. I guess that goes for me too. It's been a little busy here. Sorry I haven't had a video out in quite a while. It's just been really busy with life and taking care of baby and doing other things that have come up in my life, but that's okay. We're actually here at the apiary today and we're going to be checking out our bees. About a month ago, we put together the PHOPIK Pro on the hives and let them sit. So that was our mite treatment for this time of year. And we're going to get into the hives and see how they're doing, making sure they still have resources, they're not being robbed out too much, and just do a general check of the hives, see how they're all doing. All right, so we're going to get into the Dandelion hive first today. As you can see from the footage at the very beginning of this video, there was a lot of activity out front, and it all wasn't good activity. There were lots of yellow jackets out front. There were some robber bees out front because I could see bees fighting each other. So we're going to get into this one first. We want to see how they're doing. Then we're going to try to tighten up that entrance a little bit today to hopefully help them defend their hive. When we were doing the PHOPIK Pro treatments, one of the things we have to do is we have to open up the front of the hive. It has to be completely open. The downside of that is that getting into this time of year, that encourages robbing. It makes it harder for colonies to defend themselves. So we're definitely going to get that closed up today for them to help them out. You know, I know yellow jackets have their purpose and they do things for the environment. They're pollinators. They take care of some of the maggots and other things because they eat the proteins. I get that. I really do. I just don't want them in my hives. There is a lot of yellow jacket activity around this hive, and the yellow jackets would just, you know, be able to get in easy. Wow, a lot of bees coming out. There's a good chance that these are robber bees. There are very few bees in this top box. There's barely anything. Let's pull out a frame just to show you. Yeah, just completely dry. And they're all that way. These don't look robbed out. They just don't look like they were ever filled. Lots of, I see fighting even inside the super. Not a good sign, folks. Oh, robbed out honey. You can tell how the cells are just like tapped into. Not a good sign. This box is coming off also. I'm just hoping that they haven't robbed out the next super. Oh, this feels light. Oh, look at this. Robbed. Okay, so here's what I'm thinking, folks. This colony is dead. I bet there's no more current bees in here. They've been robbed out. This hive has had its ups and downs this year for sure. Weird queen placement, queen lost, queen get found, queen lost, pinched the queen, made a new queen. So they've had their fair share of things to deal with this season, that's for sure. Too bad, they were good honey producers. Okay, yeah, I see lots of dead bees on top of this. Oh, there's wax moth. See those wormy things in there? Those are wax moth. That's not a good sign. Yeah, if we're seeing lots of yellow jackets and robbers and wax moth larvae, it's a bad sign. Well, that's all right. I mean, sometimes colonies survive because they're strong and they die because they're weak, and that's just part of nature. All right, so these are the PHOPIK Pro patties. We'll have to get into the beetle trap too to see if there's beetles in there. Okay, so down here we're looking for any signs of egg, larvae, queen lang. Check that out. Looks like they tried to make a queen again. A couple of queen cells there in the bottom. See those tracks that run down the side here and another one up here? Those are wax moth larvae tracks that bury their way through the bottom of the larvae. And there's some wax moth larvae on this side. So yeah, this hive is a goner, folks. Dandelions are dead. Now there is a chance that they swarmed. They left because the hive conditions were not good enough for them to stay. That's a possibility. Okay, well, this is the beetle trap, and as you can see in there, we do have beetles. So this was effective at getting some of the beetles out. Ooh, that's gross. Oh, you gotta see this. I went to go pull the tray out of the bottom just to see what was down there. Look at all that. Ew. That is gross. Small hive beetles. We've got larvae that could be wax moth or probably small hive beetles. Yuck, they're just falling off the side there. Ew, yeah, we gotta get this. This hive was not doing good. They may have had too many pests, too many disease, too many issues to survive. So they may have just left on their own. But yeah. So you might be asking, what am I gonna do? There's a little bits of honey left in that. And then over here, these two still have some resources in them. That one still has honey. This was the bees' honey for the winter time. What do you do with it? Well, we still have that colony over there. We still have that colony over there. And they still need resources. So these are just going to sit out for a few days, and we'll just let everything rob them. What I'll do is I'll probably move them over there towards that little apiary that's way overgrown. But those will go over there, and then just be resources for anything that is out in nature flying right now. It's still good. It's still good for the bees. It's still good for other pollinators out there. So let them have it. Such is nature. Bye-bye, dandelions. Yeah, if you've got a little bit of money, I highly recommend you getting these kind of mouse guards. They're great to leave on just about all year long. The only time they're a little cumbersome is in the middle of winter when you're trying to scrape out the bees, but simply slide it up, scrape out the dead bees in the middle of the winter, slide it right back down, and guess what? You're done. It's super easy. I don't think this is perfect, but I do think there is a better system out there. So stay tuned. I might try that on one of these hives here soon. Let's get into our Daisy Hive. The activity on the front looks a lot better than the Dandelion hive did. There's a lot of activity going on. However, they're not as chaotic. Very few yellow jackets at the front entrance, and then not a ton of fighting, which is a good sign. Again, completely closed up the vent here at the top. Let's pull this one out though. Yeah, I don't think there's anything on it really. I see nothing capped. A lot of bees drinking. So we'll take this box off because I don't need it. We need to start thinking about consolidation anyway at this time of year. Getting them prepped for the winter. All right, this is the bee honey. I'm seeing lots of capped honey in here. The bees are really calm at the moment. That's a good sign. When the bees are agitated, that means they've been agitated by something. So if you open it up and they're not too agitated, it's a sign that they're not being bothered as much. Oh, look at that. There you go. Almost an entire frame on that side of capped honey. Okay, this side has nothing. There's a small hive beetle. Kill the beetle. And then all the other frames look like they have bees and honey on them, except for maybe this outside one. It doesn't look like it's as filled, but all the others are filled. So that's a really good sign about this hive. This is our Daisy Hive, which was the former Carniolan hive, and they survived last winter. Let's see if they survive this winter. All right, do I need to see a queen? No. All I need to see is evidence of a queen. Okay, let's get this frame out of the edge here. Whoa, they didn't like that. Sorry, girls. Brood on that side here. One more. Yep, I can see brood. So they've got at least 3 full frames of brood. At least. So this queen's doing good. Healthy population, as you can see. Lots of bees coming out. So we're not going to bother them much more. We're just going to kind of button them up. There's our tray. Okay. Let's bring you over so you can see what I see. Alright, so here's the bottom board we pulled out. Doesn't look too bad. Look over here. We have a small hive beetle and a wax moth larvae, I believe. We're going to do squish and squish and no more. I don't want to just brush them off onto the ground because then they'll go in the ground and make more problems. So there we go. That one looks much better. All right, definitely putting this back in underneath. Because if we're starting to have some cool nights, we definitely don't want too much cool air blowing up into the hive. All right, here we are. Here we are at the Sunflower Hive. 3 supers on. We'll see if there's any honey in there. The activity on the front looked good as well, as you can see. That was the nice looking one from the beginning of the video. I will say I like the fact that I rearranged this apiary. I've got a lot more room on the other side of this hive. Over here is just tons of workspace. It's awesome. For a hobby beekeeper, don't mind at all. Okay, so we've got 2 hive beetles there. And we've got 1 hive beetle on this side. Oh, there's 4 hive beetles up here. Ooh, that's not a good sign. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Just up here. Ew. This one definitely starts to smell a little bit like stinky gym socks, so they've been bringing in the goldenrod. Okay, the other frames don't have anything really on them at all, so just those 3 at the top with comb on it. We'll take this box off because they obviously don't need it. This one should be human honey. It's got some weight to it. Some capped honey on that side. Come on. Ooh. Heavy. Both sides. Beautifully capped. Hey, yellow jacket. That's not for you. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Frame 6 is full on one side. 7 is full on both sides. Frame 8 is full pretty much on both sides. Alright, so what we do with this box depends on what the next box below it looks like. Because I don't want to take away all their honey. However, these colonies survived last winter with just their deep and a medium underneath it. Do I need more honey? No, not right now. What I'm thinking though is we will take this box and set it out in the yard away from the beehives and just let everybody rob it back out. And then we'll come back in a few days and collect the empty frames. Okay, this is bee honey. Full. Wow, these look full all the way across. Awesome. I'm getting thumped over here. They're not happy. Means they're getting agitated. Alright, yeah, this is full pretty much all the way through. Even just moving this one frame out of the way a tiny little bit. This box looks absolutely fantastic. Alright, so just like we did with the Daisy Hive, we'll do the same here. We'll take off the, the pollen patties. Trying to be really careful. I don't want to drop the queen. There's a better brood pattern. Same on that side. Okay, so we have an active queen. That's all I need to see right now, folks. Just a laying queen. Alright, let's get this beetle trap out of here. Scrape the tops off, close them up. They had some beetles in there, not as many as the others. It's a good sign. Might be a stronger colony overall. Alright, now they too are in their winter configuration, getting them condensed down. Awesome! We have 2 colonies that are alive, and unfortunately we lost 1, but 66% going into winter. Okay, that's fine. Alright, so I was over here cleaning up, and I came back to the front of this hive. Whoa! Look at that! They are very bottlenecked at the front, so I put that other cover down on the ground. But they are very full in the front. I don't think that's just because the hive is too full. I think that is just the bees defending, because we have a little bit of a robbing spree going on right now. And when I went in front of them to put that plastic down on the ground, they got very defensive. But if you look carefully, inside that beard, you can see some yellow. So they are definitely bringing in pollen. It's not 100% robber bees, but they are highly defensive right now. Even I'm getting pinged pretty good right now. Good thing I have a suit on. Oh, wow, there's a lot going on today. So 4 weeks after the PHOPIK Pro, we found out that one of our hives have died. Several reasons as to why it could have died. It could have been just overrun with robber bees and yellow jackets and forced to leave. Maybe they had an issue with the queen due to the PHOPIK Pro. Sometimes using PHOPIK Pro will cause queen loss. So maybe they lost their queen, tried to make a new queen, especially since we saw that one frame that had the queen cells on it. Maybe they were desperate trying to make a queen. Succeeded, failed, who knows, but they didn't make it either way. So they got overrun, they're gone, there are no bees living in that hive. So now we've got the bee equipment sitting out, finished being robbed, just to give some pollen, nectar, and honey back to the bees that are still living. Our Daisy Hive and our Sunflower Hive, they are still alive and seem to be doing okay. When we opened them up, we've got brood, they've got resources to make it through the winter still, so they're looking good. What changed though is as I was packing up, I noticed that they were starting to be robbed. They had a massive amount of activity on the fronts of their hives. So what I did is I took that mouse guard you can see in these videos here and turned it upside down. So instead of having the comb side facing down, they now have the screen side facing down. This one hive over here has a small little gap on the end, so that's where the bees are going to be able to get in and out, and that's a much smaller area for the bees to be able to defend. Hopefully that will help them survive this onslaught and be okay. This other hive over here didn't have that gap on the side, so I had to leave the mouse guard slightly angled up, so that way on one end of the hive they're able to get in, and the other hive that's just used for blocking and defense. So hopefully the hives will be okay. They'll make it through today with no problems, and we'll come out hopefully next week, check on them, see if they're still doing okay, and check resources. We may need to feed them. Who knows? We'll see. All right, everyone else, thanks for checking in. Sorry it's been so long since I recorded a video, but hey, you know, life gets busy. You just got to roll with it. Thanks again for joining me, and we'll catch you guys next time. Bye.